What's going on, guys? This is the Talking Sports podcast with Adam and Alec, episode 34. On this week's episode, we're going to talk a lot about the NBA playoffs, uh, kind of the playing games going on right now, and then wrapping up this episode with another, I think we're going to call it trivia time, see if that sticks or not, but mainly the playoffs in this episode. Playing game yesterday between the 7 and 8 seeds. On the Western Conference, we had the 7 seed Minnesota end up beating the 8 seed the Los Angeles Clippers. And on the Eastern Conference, you had Brooklyn end up beating Cleveland. So both 7 seeds won their game, and both 8 seeds await the winner of tonight's 9-10 games. On the West Conference, you got the New Orleans Pelicans and the San Antonio Spurs. And on the Eastern Conference, you had the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets. Did you watch either one of the games or catch any of the highlights last night?
I got to watch a little bit of the Cavaliers-Nets game towards the beginning of the game, and the Nets were destroying. I'm pretty sure they were up by like 20 at the end of the first. They really controlled the whole game from looking at the stats. I didn't get to watch the whole game, but looking at the stats. And, it got kind of close in the third and fourth quarters. But the Nets – I feel like the Nets are a really good team.
Right.
I don't like them. We know why we don't like them. Yep. But I feel like they're a really dangerous team just because of the guys that they have on their roster. But will they come to play? I don't know. They showed up last night, and they are locked into the playoffs. So.
And we mentioned them locking themselves in as the 7th seed, takes on a very good Boston Celtic team. We'll get to that matchup in a minute. But the other side, Minnesota locks themselves in with a first-round matchup against a very surprising up-and-coming Memphis Grizzly team. Yeah. So that should be a really good series, I think. But the 9-10 games going on right now, it looks like Atlanta is going to run away with this game against Charlotte. That'll set them up to play Cleveland tomorrow, I believe. I might be wrong on the day.
Yeah.
But Charlotte looks like they'll be taking Cleveland, and then the Clippers will take on the winner of the Pelicans and the Spurs. Who do you have winning this game between the Pelicans and the Spurs?
Yeah, this is a really intriguing game. I don't know. The Pelicans are at home, but I'm going to take the Spurs.
Yeah, I'll go the Pelicans.
I think Javonte Murray is going to have a big game, averaging 21 points per game on this season. But I'll take the Spurs.
Yeah, I'll go the other way. I'll go with the Pelicans because they're at home. They showed clips of Zion in the pregame dunking earlier. So I don't know when he's supposed to return. It's not going to be – it probably won't be this playoffs unless they actually make a deep run. But we'll see. All right, so we'll start off on the Eastern Conference. The 1 seed Miami will take on the winner of Cleveland and Atlanta. Who do you have winning the Cleveland-Atlanta playing game to play Miami?
I think this Hawks team is really good. Obviously, I really like Trae Young. He's a great ball player. And as you can see, they're running away with this playing game. They're up 110-81 right now. I think the Hawks are built for this. So I'm going to take them locking in the 8 seed, the Hawks.
Yeah, I agree with the Hawks pick. They made a deep run in last year's playoffs, so they have experience. Cleveland's a really young team. I think this is their first taste of the playoffs in a while. So just because of that, I'll go Atlanta here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Which sets up a Miami-Atlanta first round. I'm going to go with Miami. I think probably Miami in 5. I think Miami's played really well as of late. They ended up getting the 1 seed in the very competitive Eastern Conference, which feels weird saying because it's usually not the Eastern Conference that's the most competitive. But yeah, very good Eastern Conference. Miami, I have winning in 5 games over Atlanta.
Yeah, I definitely think we talked about oh my goodness, I just lost my notes. We talked about Atlanta being a good team, but this Miami team, they've really been on a tear the last month of the season. like you said, they climb all the way and battle in the crazy Eastern Conference, where as I'm looking now at the standings, between 1 and 6 is only a 7 game difference.
Yeah, that's great.
So, and between 1 and 4, they're all tied at 2 games.
Hmm.
The 2, 3, and 4 are all 2 games back of first place. So this is really tight. Normally how the Western Conference is,
Right.
but now roles have flipped. But I think Miami's going to keep that hot streak going. We saw them in the finals. What was it, 2 years ago now?
Yeah, the
Losing to the
bubble.
Lakers. Yeah, in the bubble. But I think this is a really solid team, and I think they can make a deep run. So I'm going to take Miami in the first round. I could see it going 6, maybe.
Right. I was kind of debating if I
I'd
said 5 or 6. I'm like, we'll go 5.
yeah, yeah. I would say, and 6 would be the max, the farthest it would go.
I will say I don't see any of these being 4-game sweeps in the Eastern Conference.
I agree with that.
Next up is the 4-5 matchup, Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Toronto Raptors. There was a guy that news came out the other day that he's not going to be able to play away games because of Toronto and the COVID regulations. I don't know how much that's going to play a factor in this series. I still think Philadelphia wins the series. They're a very, very good team. I have this one going 6 because of the road games in Toronto, but I think they end up pulling away and winning it in 6.
Yeah, this is another good series, good matchup. You look at Joel Embiid, the crazy season he's had. Probably, I'd say the front runner to win MVP. He locked down the scoring title, averaging 30.6 per game, which is crazy for a center. You wouldn't think that for a center. Just a crazy athletic player, and he's had a great season. I think this could go to 7. I really think this could go to 7. And with it going to 7, I'm going to take Philadelphia since they would have the home court. So I'm going to take Philly in 7.
So you have your first 7-game series. I've yet to get there. Next up, Milwaukee, the 3 seed, taking on Chicago, the 6 seed. Now this matchup has a little bit of history here this year. Grayson Allen for the Bucks ended up injuring Alex Caruso, I believe, for the Chicago Bulls back a couple months ago. So there's definitely some bad blood here. Giannis coming off of an NBA final win last year, looking to repeat. Chicago, DeMar DeRozan looking for a deep playoff run, It's a good series. I think Milwaukee is too good right now. I'll take Milwaukee in 7. I got my first 7-game series here.
Yeah, you talked about the Bucks coming off, obviously defending champs. They're not going to want to go down in the first round. Obviously, this is a great team, but you look at Chicago, and they are built to be deadly in the playoffs. And you look at DeMar DeRozan and the season he's had probably his best season of his career this season, averaging about 28 points per game. I mean, the Bulls took the league by storm at the beginning of the season. Like, they just came out of nowhere, it seemed like. I don't think they have enough, and I'm going to take the Bucks because of the experience they have. Obviously, I mean, the Bucks have been in the playoffs forever now, it seems like. And last year they finally got over the hump and finally won. But I think that experience is going to carry them far. They're ready to defend the title, and I think the Bucks will win. I'd take it in 6.
So our final first round matchup, I'd say probably the best one here. The Boston Celtics taking on the Brooklyn Nets. It's kind of a joke the last week or two of the season, like, who's going to avoid Brooklyn? Like, are you going to lose enough games to avoid Brooklyn? Or are you going to win just enough games to get Brooklyn? Boston, the unlucky winner, gets Brooklyn. This Brooklyn team, Kyrie playing every game now. KD, it's Kevin Durant, he's going to do what he does. Ben Simmons still not playing. This Brooklyn team has a lot of hype around them, but this Boston team is really, really good also. I think they're the best defensive team in the league, if I saw that correctly. I have this going 7 also, but I have Boston winning game 7 in the Garden.
If I remember right, didn't they go to 7 games last season in the playoffs?
I know Brooklyn went 7 with Milwaukee
I think it was no, it was Milwaukee. It was Milwaukee. It wasn't Boston.
because KD's shoe
Wrong
was on the
team.
line.
Yes, it was Milwaukee. My bad. I was thinking it was Boston. This is going to be a really good series. Obviously, I can't stand Brooklyn for one reason. I'm petty, but I'm sorry. It's never going to go away. I'm going to take Boston. I talked about how hot this Boston team has been lately. I think they carry that into the playoffs, take care of business. I'll take Boston in 6.
So my second round matchup, I think we both had the same winners. Miami, Philly, Milwaukee, yeah. So second round matchups would be the 1 seed Miami versus the 4 seed Philly. Very good series here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Philly. I think James Harden, Joel Embiid, a little bit too much for Miami to control or to contain for 7 full games.
Yeah.
I think if it's a one-off game, I'd take Miami, but this is a best of 7 series. I'll go Philly in 6.
Oh man. That would be a really crazy matchup.
Mhm.
Oh gosh. I don't even know who to pick at this point. I mean, you look at, is Ben Simmons gonna play in the playoffs? No, that's for the Nets. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. It's
Yeah.
Harden. It's Harden. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is why we don't get views.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Miami.
Yeah, we don't know who Ben Simmons plays for. We don't know who Chicago signed in the offseason.
Oh yeah, this is great, isn't it?
All right, so
Yeah.
you're going Miami. I'm going
Yeah.
Philly. How many games Miami?
I could see that going to 7. I really could see that going to 7. And I'll take Miami in 7.
Okay, so that's our first difference here. Next
Yeah.
up, we both have the 3 seed Milwaukee taking on the 2 seed Boston. Boston has the home court advantage here, so they have that one extra game if they need it. I'm going to go Boston in 7. I think back-to-back
All right.
series, both these teams go 7 games. I think Boston has just enough.
I think it's going to take, I said Boston in 6 in the first round, but I think it's going to take everything that they got to take down the Nets. And I think that could hurt them in the next round. So I'm going to take Milwaukee in 6.
All right, so we both have different conference finals here. I have Philly, Boston. You have Miami, Milwaukee. So mine would be Boston, the home team. They get that 7th game if needed against Philly. I'll go Philly in 6. I think Philly comes out of the East.
Philly out of the East. Okay. And my matchup was Miami,
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. That's right. Oh man. Do I think the Bucks can repeat? I don't know. I mean, I feel like Giannis is still on a mission to do it again. How many times do 1 seeds get there also?
Right.
You know what? I'll stick with Milwaukee.
That's interesting. Looking at the West.
I will stick with Milwaukee.
All right. So I have the 4 seed Philly. You have the 3 seed Milwaukee. Now we get to the Western Conference. The number 1 overall seed Phoenix will take on the winner of the Clippers, and I said the Pelicans. You said the Spurs. I think the Clippers win that game either way. What do you think?
Over the Spurs. Well, yours was
Yeah, mine was the
Pelicans.
Pelicans.
Mine would be Spurs. Yeah, I think the Clippers. They kind of got shocked last night in that game with Minnesota. I don't think they expected to lose that.
Oh no.
even though they were on the road. But I heard some things about Kawhi coming back. Is that true?
I haven't heard. Didn't he tear?
I heard a rumor. I don't know. I don't know if that was true, and I would have to read more up on it.
I
But if
don't
Kawhi comes
know.
back, that could change some things.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they make a deeper run.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're probably hoping to win that playing game last night, so they get Memphis instead of the hot Phoenix Sun.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think the Clippers I would beat the Spurs to get in to be the 8 seed. And then I'd take the Suns. The Suns team has been
Oh, yeah.
the best team in basketball. They just got to handle business, and I think they'll be right where they want to be.
I'll go a step further, say Suns in 4 over the Clippers. Every time I see LAC, I want to say the Chargers. I don't know why.
I mean, it is LAC.
I know I've wanted to
So-
say it every time I've looked at it now. I'm like, don't say the Chargers. But I'll take the Suns in 4 over the Clippers. I think Chris Paul, Devin Booker are too good. Next up, Dallas and Utah. Luka versus I blanked on his name. Donovan Mitchell. Yeah,
Yeah, Donovan
that
Mitchell
guy.
and Gobert.
Yeah, and Gobert. So this is a really good matchup here.
Well, also Luca has a calf strain
That is true.
and could miss games in this first series. I don't think they've announced it yet, but he is questionable.
And Utah's not exactly fully healthy either. So this is tough now.
I honestly think this Dallas team is better defensively,
Hmm.
and then especially with Luca on the floor, Dallas is one of the most dangerous teams in the West. I honestly think Luka's gonna miss game 1. I got this feeling that Luka will be out game 1. They could lose game 1, but I'm gonna take the Mavs in 6. Luka comes back game 2, and then they get rolling.
Yeah, I'll take Dallas in 6 also. Next up, the 3 seed, the Golden State Warriors taking on the 6 seed Denver Nuggets. This is easy for me. I'm going to go Golden State. They have so much playoff experience in their 7-year stretch here.
Yes.
I'll take them in 5 probably. Shouldn't have too much trouble with Denver this year.
I'm pretty sure this Denver team's dealing with injuries and stuff too, if I remember right. And this, I mean, we all know what the Warriors are, and with the rise of Jordan Poole this season, he's been a stud, and that just makes that Warriors team even more dangerous. And like you said, with the experience, I'll take them in 5 probably.
Yeah.
Denver might get 1, but 5.
And then that sets up a very intriguing first round matchup that I didn't think we'd have. The 2 seed Memphis Grizzlies taking on the 7 seed Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
This is a Memphis team that's played without Ja Morant for periods of a time this year. And they still managed to lock down the 2 seed by a solid 3 games over Golden State.
Yeah, I remember seeing a stat at one point. They were like 20-2 without Ja or something like that. We're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I will take Memphis in 5. I think Minnesota will take probably game 3 at home, but everything else goes to Memphis.
Yeah, I definitely think Memphis wins. I'm trying to think of what game it goes to. I think it shows you their depth without having Ja that many games, and they're still able to pull off wins. I really think that shows how good of a team this Memphis team is, and I think they can make a deep run. So I'm going to take Memphis. I really don't think Minnesota can get 2 games on them. So, man, I could even see Memphis in 4.
I thought about it.
I'm saying Memphis in 4. I'm going to go out on a limb. Memphis.
I thought about it, but I thought maybe Minnesota could take 1 at home. We'll see though.
I'm taking Memphis in 4.
So the second round, we all have the same teams. Phoenix versus Dallas in the second round. I'm going to take Phoenix in 5. Dallas probably takes game 3 or 4 at home. But Phoenix, they're 64-18 this year. They have done way better than what I thought they would have done this year. I thought maybe they'd have a kind of a hangover year from losing in the NBA Finals, but they've
Yeah.
fired on all cylinders. Chris Paul missed a period of time before the playoffs, so he's fully rumbling now, which is dangerous for all these other teams because a healthy
Yeah.
Chris Paul is top 3 point guards in the league.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll take Phoenix in 5. I think Booker goes off. I think Luka does what he does, but I don't know if he has enough help this year.
I'm taking the Suns in 6, and I think it's going to be closer than what most people think. I mean, I could honestly see this game going to 7. I think Phoenix wins if Luka is healthy. That's all. If Luka gets and stays healthy, I think it goes to 6. Phoenix still controls it. I think Luka is really dangerous, and Luka could do something crazy and win. I mean, Luka's gonna have to carry them to 2 of these wins.
Yeah.
But I think it'll happen. So I'll take Phoenix in 6.
Well, I think it was last year in the playoffs. It was Dallas and the Clippers, I want to say.
Yeah.
And the whole first half was just Luka, 3-ball after 3-ball after 3-ball.
Yeah.
He had like 20 in the first half, and then they ended up getting blown out because he couldn't produce in the second half. But
When he gets hot, though,
yeah.
no one can stop him.
That's where I was going to like Luka. When he gets rolling, he's rolling.
Yeah.
I still take Phoenix in 5. And then that sets up the last matchup of this second round, Golden State and Memphis. Memphis being the 2 seed has an extra game. Here's where it gets interesting. Memphis, younger, more athletic, I would say.
Yeah.
Golden State, more experience, better shooters. I got Golden State in 6.
Oh man, this is really tough.
This is a tough one. It's probably the toughest one we've had.
This definitely is the toughest matchup that we've had tonight. Man, I really like Ja, and I'd love to see him take them, to the conference finals.
For sure.
It's a really tough pick because we know how good the Warriors are and how deep they are and how dangerous they are and how experienced they are. And this Memphis team is so young. Were they even in the playoffs last year, or did they lose in the play-in? If I remember
They might have
right,
lost
or did
the
they?
play-in. I believe so.
I think they lost in the play-in, if I remember right.
So
Well,
they go
man,
from the playing game to the number 2 seed.
yeah,
That's
that's
insane.
crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna take Memphis. Memphis in 7. I'm gonna take Memphis in 7.
I would say the key to Memphis, if they want to win this series, they need to win the first 2 at home.
Yes,
I think if Golden
agreed.
State takes either 1 or 2, I'd take Golden State in 6. Because then they go back home.
Yeah,
That place is rocking.
that's true.
And
That's
it's hard to
true.
win a road game at Golden State in the playoffs
That's a good point.
because that stadium gets rocking.
Yep.
The same thing can be said about Memphis, which is why I'm saying like the first 2 games are probably the most important of this series.
Oh yeah. And
So,
Memphis is gonna be rocking. I mean, they haven't been good in a while.
crap, I remember the 2012 season, I think, when OKC played Memphis. They had
Yeah.
Zebo,
Yeah.
Conley, Gasol.
Oh, Marc Gasol. Yep, Marc Gasol.
That stadium was bumping.
Yeah,
And it was so
they gave
irritating.
us trouble
They
too.
were like the 8 seed.
Yeah, they gave us trouble though.
Yeah. Very, very fun atmosphere there. But no, stars shine brightest when they're in the spotlight. Steph Curry going to do what Steph Curry does. Klay Thompson, playoff time. Draymond,
Yeah,
he's a goof, but Draymond, he plays.
yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting series. I'm hoping we get this series in the second round.
I think it definitely goes 7 in my book.
Yeah. That sets up 2 different conference finals for both of us. I have Phoenix taking on Golden State, in which case I take Phoenix in 7. No, I'll take Phoenix in 6. I'll take Phoenix in 6. So I think Chris Paul matches up really well with Steph. Booker matches up really well with Thompson. And then Phoenix also has DeAndre Ayton, who is going to eat alive anybody they put down there.
Yeah.
So I'll take Phoenix in 6 here. Should be another really close fought series. That puts you with Phoenix and Memphis.
Memphis. Yep. This will be another good series, and I could see it going 6 or 7. I really want to see Chris Paul win a ring. I was on the bandwagon last season, and I'm on it again.
Yes, sir.
So for that reason, I'm taking Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, either 6 or 7, one of those two. But I think Phoenix takes care of business. They're on a mission after they know the pain they felt last year, and they don't want to feel that again. So I'm going to take Phoenix.
So, and I mentioned after you pick Milwaukee, this is going to set up a very interesting thing for you.
Rematch.
You now have a rematch between the Suns and the Bucks.
Yeah.
I have a matchup between the Suns and the Sixers. We'll let you go first because you got the rematch. What do you got going on here?
Oh my goodness. This would be crazy to witness, just saying, to have a rematch of this. I don't think Chris Paul is going to let them lose back-to-back seasons to the same exact team. Now, I think it goes 6 or 7, probably 7. I'm going to say it's going to go to 7. I think Booker's going to carry the first 2 games, drop like 30 or 40. They'll probably split the home games. So 1-1. I think they'll split in Milwaukee, and Chris Paul will have big games in Milwaukee. And then I think the Suns come home, take care of business. Yeah, so I'm taking the Suns. Suns in 7.
Now, stay with me on this one, right?
Yeah.
Phoenix, Philly. Chris Paul played with James Harden. So, you got kind of a chemistry there of Chris Paul knows what Harden does. I think Harden doesn't do anything in this series. I think it's going to be completely up to Joel Embiid. Because Chris Paul his basketball IQ is outstanding. Like, it's insane how smart he is on the court. So
Best in the league.
Yeah, whoever has the task of guarding James Harden, Chris Paul's going to be in that dude's ear all game long. Like, watch for this, watch for this. If he does this, he's going to do that. So watch for that. I think they keep James Harden on lock. I think he has a very, very struggle. I think he struggles a lot this series. I couldn't think of another word I want to say. So all the way is going to come down to Joel Embiid. And then right there you got DeAndre Ayton, who's not no, I'm not saying any level whatsoever. He's on the same level as Joel Embiid, but he's probably the best center he'll match up with in this playoff run.
Yeah, definitely.
So because of that, I got Phoenix in 5.
In 5, okay.
In 5.
All right.
Because you got the first 2 in the desert. They'll take those 2 easy. I think Philly wins game 3. Phoenix wins game 4, and they go back in the desert game 5. Throw a party. Chris Paul gets his first ring. A much-deserved, well-earned first ring. Booker gets his first ring of couple. Party time in Phoenix, baby.
I like it. I definitely think Chris Paul is going to get his ring this season, and I want to see it happen. I love Chris Paul. He's a great basketball player. Meant a lot to every single organization he's played for, especially the Thunder and back when they were the Oklahoma City Hornets.
His first year.
Yeah, so a great player. Like I said, I'm taking the Suns in 7. I think the Suns have a 3-2 lead, and I'm kind of changing what I was thinking earlier. I think the Suns have a 3-2 lead. They go to Milwaukee, and they're up big at halftime, like 10-point lead at half, and I think they choke it. Giannis brings them back to force game 7, and then I think game 7 is going to be a nail-biter, and the Suns barely squeak it out at the end.
Well, that's not good for my heart. I need Chris Paul to run away with this thing. Like, he was my first ever favorite basketball player. Because
Yeah.
his first year was the first year that they were in OKC. So ever since then, he's been my dude. So, had
And going back to, I was going back between Miami or Milwaukee to play in the finals. I still think even if Miami wins, I still think the Suns. I'm taking the Suns.
oh yeah, 100%.
So
I'll take the
I
Suns
think
against anybody.
yeah, that was my point with that. Yeah, I'm taking the Suns on anybody.
The Suns honestly might mess around and sweep Miami
They
because
could.
Miami doesn't have the go-to guy. I mean, Jimmy Butler, he's a dude, but he ain't a Giannis. He's not a James Harden. He's not a Joel Embiid.
It's true.
He's not a top 5 player at his position. Like they don't have a go-to guy. So
Who you taking, Chris Paul or Booker for MVP?
Paul, average
Paul?
double double. Yeah, probably go 20 and 12. Booker
I'm taking
probably
Booker.
he'll probably average about 28, 30 points, which I guess they could go with Booker, but I don't know.
I'm thinking Booker drops a 40 piece in one of these games.
If he does that, then yeah, it solidifies him. I think Aiden also goes 15 and 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of fun the next month and a half will be. And that about wraps up that part. You got anything else?
I think we're good. Trivia time.
Let's go to trivia time. So, in honor of the NBA playoffs starting, I found a quiz supposed to be specifically about the NBA playoffs. I couldn't find a date, so I don't know how old this quiz is. It might be 10 years ago, it might be yesterday, I don't know. But the first question, they're all multiple choice. During a 1986 double overtime matchup against the Boston Celtics, who scored an NBA playoff record for most points scored in a playoff game with 63 points?
Jordan.
Huh? Well, let me
Jordan.
say. Was it Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, or Hakeem Olajuwon?
That's definitely Jordan.
I'm going Jordan also.
Yeah.
That is correct. Question 2. With 568 blocks, this former NBA MVP owns the record for most career blocks in the playoffs. Was it Bill Russell, Dwight Howard, Tim Duncan, or Shaquille O'Neal?
I feel like with how many finals Bill Russell won and the competition he played against, I feel like it has to be Bill Russell.
Yeah. It's not going to be Dwight Howard because he
No.
hasn't played enough playoff games. Tim Duncan wasn't really known as a blocker.
No.
Shaq, I mean, he did play quite a few playoff games. I'll go Bill Russell, though. Oh, wow, Tim Duncan, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't show yeah, Tim Duncan.
Wow. That's
I
cool.
didn't think he had that many blocks.
Fun fact, growing up, Tim Duncan was my favorite player when I was a Spurs fan.
Question 3. Who is the most recent NBA player to join the prestigious list of players who have won an Olympic gold medal, NCAA title, and NBA title? Was it Michael Jordan, Carmelo Anthony, Magic Johnson, or Anthony Davis? So who's the most recent?
I'm pretty sure it was Anthony Davis.
Did he win an NCAA title?
With Kentucky.
I know he was on a really good Kentucky team. It's not Melo. It had to be Davis. Yeah, it's Anthony Davis. I knew he was on one of those really good Kentucky teams. I didn't know if they won it all that year, though.
They won it in 12, I think.
No, that makes sense. Question 4. With 17 consecutive 30-point games, what NBA scoring legend owns the record for being a lethal postseason scorer? Rick Barry, Michael Jordan, Jerry West, or Magic Johnson? 17 consecutive 30-point playoff games.
I want to pick Jordan, but they already had a Jordan question.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm kind of like going back and forth where it could be Magic.
Lethal postseason scorer.
It's got to be Jordan. I mean, Jordan's one of the best scorers of all time.
Yeah.
But I feel like
It's
it's
one of those
trick
obvious
questions.
questions, though. I always
It's either
struggle with the
Jordan.
obvious ones.
I feel like it's Jordan or Magic.
What if it's Rick Barry?
That would be an outlier. I'll stick with Jordan, the GOAT.
I'll say Rick Barry just because. Oh, it was Rick Barry.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
insane. Question 5. What two NBA teams hold the record for the most NBA titles won of all time? The Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors, the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers, the LA Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs, or the Chicago Bulls and the LA Clippers.
Pretty sure we all know this one.
Yeah.
Boston and LA.
Yep. Correct.
So I'm at 3. What are you at?
I think I'm at 4 because I got that Rick Barry one right.
Yeah.
All right, question 6. After trailing by 31 points, 94-63 in the third quarter, what NBA playoff team would become responsible for the largest postseason comeback in NBA history? Was it the Miami Heat, the LA Lakers, the LA Clippers, or the Golden State Warriors? So they were trailing by 31 points in the third quarter. I wish it told me what year.
That would probably give it away though.
That is true.
I'll go Golden State.
I was thinking them too because all the firepower they have.
Yeah. That's a tough question though.
Because I don't think Miami's ever had the fire except for the Big Three era.
But I don't ever remember them being down by 31.
They did have a tough series with Indiana.
Indiana with Paul George.
I'll split it up again. You said Golden State.
Yeah, I'll go Golden State.
I'll say Miami. And I'm thinking it's going to be the Indiana series. It's the Clippers.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
No. All right, question 7. With a ridiculous 11 triple-doubles, this seemingly unbeatable NBA playoffs record is owned by what NBA superstar? So 11 triple-doubles. Is it Kobe Bryant, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, or LeBron James?
Definitely Russ.
Has he had 11 triple-doubles in the playoffs?
It's got to be Russ.
It might be LeBron.
It could be LeBron.
Because he didn't really start doing his triple-doubles until the 17th.
That's true. That's
And
true.
since
And
then,
we
They got
weren't
bounced.
going far.
They got bounced in the first round back-to-back years. Or 3 years in a row, really.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we got swept all 4, but I think they only won 1 in each game, in each series. So that's 15 games. Taking only those 3 years, he'd have to have 11 of those 15 be triple-doubles.
I think LeBron now.
Why'd they throw Steph Curry in here?
No, they ain't Steph.
I know it's not Steph, but take someone else. I'm going to go LeBron.
Yeah. Think of how many playoff games LeBron's played.
It was LeBron.
Yeah.
They enticed me by triple-doubles and Russell Westbrook. Ooh, Brody. On June 9th, 2017, which NBA team set the record for most three-point field goals made in one game? Was it the Spurs, the Cavaliers, the Warriors, or the Heat?
This is so like what? It obviously is Golden State.
It was
No
Cleveland.
way.
It was Cleveland.
No way.
It was
No
the
way.
Cavaliers. What?
Ain't no way. Fact check. Fact check.
Oh.
Ain't no way.
Oh, we suck, dude.
Wow. That's surprising.
Oh, all right. Question number 9. Several NBA players have won multiple NBA Finals MVP awards, but who is the first one to win 2 of them? Was it Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Willis Reed, or Jerry West?
Oh man.
Who did it twice first?
I feel like it's gonna be Jerry West. I think we got to go back far
Mhm.
because I know definitely Michael did it. I know definitely Magic did it, but who did it first? I'll go Jerry West.
I'll agree with Jerry West. Does Willis Reed?
Wow, we're bad. Is this the last question?
Yes,
And it's what it's 4-5.
I believe so.
So we gotta have a tiebreaker if I get this.
All right. Can you name the 4 NBA teams that have reached the NBA Finals twice without winning either time? First option is the Magic, the Nets, the Jazz, and the Suns. Second option is the Clippers, the Nets, the Wizards, and the Heat. Third one is the Magic, the Thunder, the Pelicans, and the Jazz. And the last one is the Nets, the Jazz, the Rockets, and the Grizzlies.
All right,
So-
what was the question again?
Can you name the 4 NBA teams that have reached the finals twice without winning either time?
We know it's not the one with the Thunder.
No, because they've only been once.
Yeah. Have the Magic been there twice?
I know they
I think
went
they've
once
only
to
been-
Hawaii.
Yeah, and they lost to the Lakers. This is like all-time franchise. They've been twice and lost both.
That's what I'm assuming. I don't know why they put Miami in there.
So it can't be the Miami one.
Because that leaves 2 options.
I don't think the Magic have been there twice. I could be wrong though.
I don't think they have either.
So I'm gonna go with the other one left.
The Nets,
Whichever that
Jazz,
one is.
Rockets, and Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, I'll go Magic, Nets, Jazz, and Suns. Just so it was the Magic, Nets, the one I picked.
Dang it.
So I got 60%. You ended up with 40%. Thank you, quiz.
Back-to-back weeks of 40%.
2-0 during trivia time. Oh. All right, so that about wraps up this episode number 34. Next week's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about both the MLB and the NBA playoffs. Not much has really been going on with the MLB. I haven't had too many storylines. The most notable one happened today with Clayton Kershaw going 7 innings, perfect ball, getting taken out, only 380 pitches. Other than that, though, not much has really popped off.
A dumb slide roll.
Yeah.
That's about it.
We took one from the Yankees when it mattered. Everyone was watching, so I guess that's good. But yeah, not much going on. Not next week, but the week after will be the NBA draft episode.
NFL.
Yeah. The NFL draft, where we will be probably doing our recording during the first couple picks, probably.
Yeah.
And next week we might throw in our first 5 picks to see how they compare to the week after.
Do a little mock draft.
Yeah, obviously not a full round because that would take forever.
Yeah.
But I think definitely the first 5 picks.
Yeah.
When's the NBA draft lottery? That should be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, that's normally May or June, I think, coming up.
Let me look. Oh, May 17th. So we still got a month,
A month,
which I think that's on a Thursday also. It's crazy.
probably. Everything's on a Thursday, even though this week we're doing it on Wednesday.
May 17th, it's actually on a Tuesday. So,
Okay.
but yeah, you have anything you want to add before we sign off?
I think we're good. Like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers. We're at 39 right now. So 11 people out there. If you watch this, please subscribe. If you are the 50th subscriber, let us know and we will get you on the podcast. So thank you for y'all's support. Comment who you think is going to win the finals. Give us your finals prediction, what game it'll go to, both teams who are in it, and who's the MVP. Love to see it.
Yeah, and to touch on your 50th subscriber, make sure you screenshot whenever it shows you your 50. And yeah, that's about it. So like you said, like, comment, subscribe, hit us up on Twitter. We will see y'all next week.